is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G. And been on my backlog for a while, so I'm super happy to be able to play it now. Alright, let's do this. The land of BUGARIA. A peaceful, prosperous place where many adventurous bugs gather. Like I was like, God was doing Sensei deals and God was doing my Sensei deals and although it wasn't always that way. God was doing them. I was doing them. Lured by the promise of riches and lush fields, the young queen visited those lands many moons ago. Together with her daughters and fellow antservants, she established BUGARIA's modest. Her people were happy, the Ant Kingdom flourished, and yet the queen's dream had not been fulfilled. For she had heard of an ancient people who safeguarded a treasure of unbelievable power. It was none other than the everlasting sapling! A plant which would grant unending youth and strength to any who ate even one of its leaves. She searched and searched and searched. Alas, she never found it. She entrusted her dream to the princess before falling to a hard-earned sleep. Determined to succeed where her mother did not. Hold on a second. I just want to take... My throat's a little dry. Shit, God, please do it in the name. Please do it in the name. Ah. God, please do it in the name. Determined to succeed where her mother did not, the new queen rallied the people together under her cause. Opening the doors of the kingdom to bugs of all shapes and kinds, she attracted ambitious and skilled adventurers. Her decree was loud and clear: find me the everlasting sapling, and you shall know wealth like no other bug ever has. With this, the Explorers Association was founded, with its many members searching across the kingdom for clues and treasure. Even though to this day the sapling has not been found, but every bug dreams of one day claiming it for themselves. The fact that Nintendo won't make another proper RPG Mario game pisses me off so badly. Kaboo. V the B. Chapter 1. A Dysfunctional Trio. So it's V and Kabu. Oh yeah, I want to say the dialogue would change. I really like the music in this game. Like, seriously, the fact that Nintendo has not made another fucking proper RPG Mario game, or Paper Mario anyway, is just fucking insane. Ba 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 ba. Oh, I love that music. Hell yeah! Man, I like the combat system in this game a lot. Oh yeah, yeah. Ah, the third member of our party. No, that's exactly what this is. It is a game that's meant to be a successor to Paper Mario. These people got tired of Nintendo not making a proper Paper Mario sequel, so they basically made their own, but with bugs, called Bug Fables. No, it actually is really good. It really blows that Paper Mario and Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door are considered to be some of the best made games ever. And Nintendo's like, hey, you know how people really love both of these? Let's never do anything like it ever again. Okay, now I will say this, my phone broke today, and until I get another phone, or whatever, it might be a while, I can't read full chats that are too long, so try to, keep your chats shorter, and if you have to, make multiple chats, and it's not because I don't like longer messages, it's because I can't read them. Yeah. No, Nintendo has a problem where they will milk the shit out of certain franchises. Every time you fucking turn around, there's a new Mario this, a new Mario that. And then other franchises, you won't hardly ever see them again. Fucking Pikmin. They just announced Pikmin 4 and gave it a release date for this year. Pikmin 3 came out in fucking 2013. So it's literally been 10 years, and it was 8 years before that. Fuck. I mean, it's up for debate what you like personally, but yeah, Nintendo has a lot of great series that aren't Mario, and yet they do it. Like Metroid. Metroid has really been fucked over by Nintendo. That's why everybody was so, like, surprised by them remastering Metroid Prime, because it fucking came out of nowhere. Woo, level up! Yeah. No, from what I've seen of the Metroid Prime remaster, it looks really, really good. Like, it is closer to a remake than a remaster. All the textures were redone, the level geometry was changed, Samus's body was remade. The blasters were redone, the monsters were recreated, the water was redone. There's very little of the original graphics there, and they use real-time lighting now, where obviously the GameCube didn't. So, like, Samus's, like, shots light up the dark, the visors light up the dark. I mean, it's fucking dope. Like, I'm actually surprised because they put a lot more effort into Metro Prime Remastered than they did other remasters they did. And yeah, Tears of the Kingdom does look good. But I have my reservations. I'm worried about how much of the map from Breath of the Wild they're going to be reusing. Because we know that they're up in the sky, there's now new islands up in the sky, but we also know that the map from the original game is returning, and how much they reuse of that map without changing it depends. I'm just worried that it will reuse too much of the same map. A lot of what people love the most about Breath of the Wild was the sense of exploration. So... yeah. Definitely. Definitely. But at the same time, you know, and there are definitely things that I really want Nintendo to correct from Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild had shitty fucking main dungeons. Except for Hyrule Castle. All 4 of the main dungeons were and fell far short of my expectations for Zelda Dungeon. Now, the shrines were great, but the main dungeons sucked. I honestly think, without a doubt, the worst main dungeons of any Zelda game. Hyrule Castle was good, but other than that, you know, and that comes in at the very fucking end. So, they have the opportunity, yeah, they have the opportunity to do actual good main dungeons. If Tears of the Kingdom takes the world of Breath of the Wild and adds the dungeons from classic Zelda games, perfect. Perfect game. That, and I also, I mean, there's a couple of things I would change. I would definitely make the weapon durability not so fucking low. I would allow you to repair weapons so they break and then you can repair them. Because, you know, having to constantly switch weapons sucks. It's supposed to be an RPG. You're supposed to build up a weapon set. Every time I get a new weapon, it's like, oh, do I want to use it? Because I don't want it to fucking break. And just little things like, don't make me fucking slide down a mountain when it rains. That's so annoying. That's good. I really hope so. You know? And I also hope they overhaul the story and make the story more of a focus, because the story in Breath of the Wild, what was there was good. They didn't put enough focus on the story. And I also hope that they genuinely make Zelda more likable, because I fucking hate Breath of the Wild Zelda. My least favorite incarnation of Zelda ever. I know everybody wants to shit on Spirit Tracks Zelda, but Breath of the Wild Zelda is just the fucking worst. Like, the actual character, she's so annoying and entitled, and like, she doesn't listen to anyone. And she literally is like, her dad's like, hey, you should learn magic, because we kind of need you when Ganon comes back. And she's like, no, I know better. And then Ganon comes back and she's like, oh shit, I should have learned magic. Oh, joke's on me. She's also the only incarnation of Zelda that's just an asshole to Link. I mean, thankfully that changes, but she's still an asshole to Link. And it just feels like so much of Breath of the Wild story could have just been avoided if she had listened to the people who were telling her. I mean, it's a little bit too early to call it Game of the Year yet. It definitely has the potential, but 2023, man, is such a fucking stacked year that it's gonna have a lot of competition because, I'm playing in Hogwarts Legacy, and Hogwarts Legacy is fucking awesome so far. Really, really, really good. And then Atomic Heart comes out in like 10 days. Also really looks fucking amazing. And then you have Resident Evil 4 Remake in March. Looks outstanding. Then in April, you have Jedi Survivor. I'm Fallen Order. I love Fallen Order. I can't wait for Jedi Survivor. And then in summer, June, you have fucking Final Fantasy 16 that just looks so good. And that's before you even get into the holiday season. So, I mean, 2023 is fucking jam-packed this year. Yeah, seriously, we were having a dry spell, and now we're all of a sudden getting all this stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, like Hi-Fi Rush. That's fair. Yeah, it depends. I mean, there's always games like that. I understand where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, yeah, gameplay should be king, and there's a lot of that going on. Fuck people that are like that, man. I understand that. I get hate, you know, around the grain. It's just something you have to deal with if you don't have a super popular fucking opinion, unfortunately. Well, I kinda get that. It's always been that way. Games have trends. Somebody does something that's successful, and then everybody and their mother wants to fucking do it. I actually really like God of War Ragnarok, so I really enjoyed that game. I platinumed it. It has a focus on story, that's true. But it's more than just a movie. And honestly, it doesn't really... I don't care. It doesn't really bother me if a lot of games have a story, because I prefer games with story that have good plots. It's one of the reasons why I like RPGs. I don't think the entire fucking thing should be a plot. But I'm totally fine with games having a decent amount of plot. No, I mean, I know how you feel. I've also been a fan of God of War since the beginning. I remember playing the fucking demo for God of War. The original God of War. When it was on a PlayStation Magazine demo disc. And being super excited for it. Playing the Hydra level and be like, oh man, that's so cool. But, you know, at a certain point, you just have to kind of move on. They kind of... Yeah. Well, God of War Ragnarok actually fixes that. It's a lot more aerial shit. You use your chains to swing and have a lot of battles in that game on multiple levels, with you being able to do drop attacks. So you can run, swing across, and slam down. So, God of War Ragnarok, I can say it does actually make it that better. But I was gonna say, like, they kind of did all they could do with that version of God of War. Like, as God of War Ascension proved, they just kind of fucking threw everything at the wall and they didn't have a whole lot left. Like, I like Ascension. A lot of people don't like Ascension. I do. But even I can admit that God of War Ascension felt like they had run out of ideas. And felt like they were just throwing shit at the wall to see what stuck. And they kind of blew their load on God of War 3. Like, I love God of War 3. And the scale of God of War 3 is so fucking immense that it is still, in a lot of ways, unmatched. It's just the sheer bringing down the entire fucking world scale of God of War 3 is just awesome. But after they did that, there was nowhere else to go. They couldn't top that. I mean, they tried with the Furies and the Hecatoncheires. They just couldn't. So even though that they like were trying to do stuff, God of War Ascension still in a lot of ways felt like a step back because they just went as big as they could possibly go with 3. There was no logical way. So they had to do something new. You know, like, everybody wants to give Assassin's Creed shit for going into RPG elements. But, you know, and like, oh, it's not even Assassin's Creed anymore. Well, I remember they got to, like, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and people were literally like, well, this is tired. This is old shit. This is the same old shit. So people complained that Assassin's Creed wasn't changing and it was just the same. So then they made a radical shift, and people are like, oh, now it's too different. I mean, sometimes you can't fucking win. And honestly, I like the modern Assassin's Creed games. It's the same shit. You sneak around, you climb stuff, it's set in a historical period, and you stabby people. It just has RPG elements. Yeah, no, I like Syndicate. I even like Unity, once it was patched. And now, you know, I mean, it ran like dog shit when it came out, now it runs good. You played on Series X. It has an FPS boost to 60. I liked Odyssey. The only Assassin's Creed game that I really don't like is Black Flag. And it's not because I think Black Flag is a bad game. It's because I think Black Flag should have been a fucking spin-off. Should have been called Pirates Creed. Even the developers have stated that Black Flag was not made to make a pirate game in the series. They literally made Black Flag because the pirates were all the rage, and Ubisoft said, oh, hey, you worked on this sailing for Assassin's Creed 3? Make a game with that. It was never meant to fit into the series. It was not thought of where it would go in the series. They just said, we want a pirate game. And they made the team make a pirate game. So, and it has almost no impact on the series. You could literally fucking remove Black Flag, and it almost wouldn't affect the series at all. I mean, it's a good game on its own merits, but it wasn't a good Assassin's Creed game, and calling it Assassin's Creed 4, like, look, it's got a number, it's the next main game, was like a slap in the face. And unlike a lot of people, I love Assassin's Creed 3. All the time I see people trying to shit on Assassin's Creed 3, and 3 is one of my favorite ones. The historical setting of the Revolutionary War, the parkour in the trees, Connor. I fucking love Assassin's Creed 3. So when they gave Black Flag 4, and I mean it was the last Assassin's Creed to get a number, they stopped doing numbered entries after 4. It felt like they were saying, this is going to be as big of a leap as Assassin's Creed 3 was, and it fucking wasn't. And they had that fucking shitty-ass gameplay in the office building with the tablets. Oh my god, that was bad. That was so bad. It was a fucking meta joke, and it sucked. Oh hey look, this is really the offices of Ubisoft. How many meta jokes can we make? I mean, it was so fucking cringe. Everybody wants to shit on Desmond, but at least, like, Desmond was doing something, and Desmond had growth. He started off as a little bitch, and then over the course of the games, he became awesome. By the time Assassin's Creed 3 comes along, you're going all over the world and killing people as an assassin in modern day. And then they went from skydiving off of skyscrapers to walking around with a fucking tablet and listening to in-jokes. It was so bad. I actually really liked Rogue. See, Assassin's Creed Rogue is what Black Flag should have been. It still had the ship shit, it still had the seas, but Rogue felt like an Assassin's Creed game. Rogue had an actual story that was important to the series. Rogue felt like it needed to be there. Rogue was what Black Flag should have been. And it's actually, it kind of makes me upset because Rogue is the least selling Assassin's Creed game, main one in the entire series. I mean, the entire series. I think it only sold like 1 million copies. And I know that sounds like a lot, but for the Assassin's Creed series, it's like dead last. And yet, Rogue is so good. Yeah, I like Origins and Valhalla as well. I'm actually really excited for Mirage. And I really like what they've done. How they're now, Ubisoft seems to have found the perfect solution. You have these people. Yeah, I agree. Syndicate was great. The setting was beautiful. And I think Syndicate has one of the best soundtracks in the entire series. The music that played when you got up there on a viewpoint in Syndicate, I would just sit there at the top of the buildings and listen to it. Like, they had got a world-renowned composer to do that. I can see that. I think the game of my favorite combat has to be Odyssey. I think Odyssey has really good combat once you get into it. You basically feel like a fucking demigod by the end of Odyssey. Origins is also really good with the combat, but Origins makes you wait way too long to get to the really good parts of the combat. Yeah. I mean, basically, dude, what it was is they literally, yeah, it was almost Arkham-like. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's fair. But with Syndicate, it was like they watched the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. and they're like, hey, let's do that. Like, you remember the boxing scene in Sherlock Holmes? Let's make that a game. I mean, it came out like around the same time they were making Syndicate too. So I mean, it lines up for them straight to be like, oh, okay, this is cool. I mean, you know, it was an inventive idea. Nobody had done it. So it wound up being really good. Yeah, Syndicate did that. I think the reason why is because after that they went into Bayek, and they kind of had the dual thing in Origins with Aya and Bayek, even though I fucking hate Aya. I think Aya sucks so much ass. Like, she's literally the fucking worst. Like, makes the death of the kid all about her, whatever. But, and then with Odyssey and Valhalla, they were already having to record every fucking line of dialogue twice, with 2 different characters, because you could be male or female. So, if they made, brother and sister 2 protagonists, they would be basically having to do 4 times as much voice work, so I just said, okay, we'll focus on male and female, and that'll be that. I think that's why they stopped. You know? And I mean, I hate Aya on multiple levels. I hate her for one, because every time you place her, she has shit fucking gear. So it's like, man, I get to go from my good gear with Bayek to this shit stuff. So it's like some of the biggest moments in the game you have to play with fucking noob equipment. And then also because even like story-wise, I think she's just the worst. She's like consistently judging Bayek. Yeah. Aya consistently judges Bayek. She like criticizes him. They reveal that she knew in her heart that they were probably never gonna get back together and didn't say anything to Bayek, so it's like Bayek thought the entire fucking game for the most part that they were going to get back together and that he was gonna be with his wife. And it's like, you kinda let him on. It's like, if you would honestly knew in your heart that you would probably not get back together, just fucking tell him. And then they almost try to make it like she's the founder of the Assassin Brotherhood, when it's like, that's bullshit. Bayek did all the fucking work. Like, what did you do? Like, at the end you killed some people, but it's like, they try to make her like the face of the organization, and it's like, you did almost nothing. What? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And, I mean, I think that was on purpose. It literally came about in 2017. During the height of Me Too, so I feel like that might not be a coincidence. Also, that's funny. Aya exhibits almost no fucking character growth whatsoever. Like, Bayek changes. He becomes a different person over the course of Origins. And Aya is like consistently doing the same thing. Even like when you get into the DLC for Origins, it jumps ahead like 10 years to show the early days of the organization. And Aya is still doing the same shit. And I also think it's just the fact that she had the unfortunate bad luck of being the character standing next to Bayek, because without a doubt Bayek is one of the absolute best characters in Assassin's Creed history, and he made her look even worse. Like, she was always gonna suck, but she sucked way worse because she was next to one of the best characters ever. I actually think, yeah, probably Bayek is my favorite character in the entire series, favorite main character. Because it's like, I feel like Bayek is the most well-rounded character in the series. Like, you had Altair, who was a bit of a douchebag to start with, and then he became, you know, all, like, solemn. And then you had Ezio, who had the whole, like, womanizer and, Renaissance man thing. And Connor was all about justice. Bayek has like so many layers. Like, he'll be like super pissed off when he's hunting down people who killed his son, and then he'll laugh and make jokes with people and show that he has he hasn't turned into an asshole, and then he'll like cry and mourn his son. Like, he's such a well-rounded character. Whereas I feel like all of the other characters were kind of like, this is their thing, where Bayek is just all around. He just felt like a human. You see like so many different sides of his personality. And I really, really fucking enjoyed the Hidden Ones DLC for Origins, because it picks up right where the story left off and is just fucking great. And you see him like literally working with the guy whose dad he killed and telling him why he killed his dad and explaining it to him, where it could have went into a standard cliche of, I must get vengeance for my father. He's like, no, your dad was a douchebag. He's like, I'm sorry I had to kill him, but your dad sucked. And starts training him, and fucking, they literally show how they came up with the, you know, do not spill the blood of the innocent rule. The first tenet of the creed, stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent. He's literally this guy, kills a bunch of people to save the day, and they're innocent people, but he's like, well, the ends justify the means. And Bayek is like, no, fuck you, it doesn't. We're supposed to be better. And you like see him coming up with the first tenet of the creed. He's like, we can't kill people that aren't involved for any reason. I don't care if you did it for the greater good. Fuck you. And just to see how the tenet came about and to see his growth, it was just awesome. And you like see him go from like a nobody to a fucking straight up solid mentor in the organization over the course of the game. It's great. Yeah, no, he was written really fucking well. I agree. And he has some of the best fucking line delivery and best moments in the entire series. He's just sitting there, we will find you in his sleep. And he fucking pulls off the mask. I never sleep! And it's just like the delivery of that line at the very beginning of the game. Just literally, it's like, holy shit. I was like, fuck me, Bayek is badass. And then fucking takes the mask, catches the dagger in the mask, and slams the mask on his face, and impales him with his own dagger. I'm like, right away, Bayek makes a fucking entrance. And, you know, a lot of people tell you that the introduction to a character is crucial to the development of a character. It can make or break a character. So, I mean, Bayek pops up on the scene and just immediately starts whooping ass. And I love shit like that. Plus, I have legitimate ties to Origins. My grandmother was a huge fan of Assassin's Creed because my grandmother's a history buff. And she's the reason why I love history. And yeah, he's funny. And I always used to play the Assassin's Creed games in front of my grandma. And we had a lot of bonding over it. Like, she really liked the games. And Assassin's Creed Origins was the last game she was alive for to really see. She got sick shortly after that game came out and never fully recovered. She basically missed Odyssey because she was all fucked up. Not that that's her fault. And then she died before Valhalla could come out. She died in May 8th, 2019. She died like right before my birthday. And now it sucked. So I have a lot of like love and reverence for Origins because it came out in a specific place in my life. Certain games are almost associated, become like associated with your life. Woo! Level up, baby! Rank up, but it's the fucking same thing. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely agree. Games have changed my life. Consistently. Oh, okay, I gotta go over here. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I feel like the debate is art gaming, or is gaming art, what I should have said, to be fucking stupid, because if you see the effect that games have had on people, bringing them to tears, changing their life, the lengths that fans go to cosplay as their favorite characters, you would see that it's art. Only art can have that. Like, if you see people get upset over a game and cry, that's art. It made them feel. You see somebody laugh at something, that's art. It made them feel. You see somebody get upset that somebody in a game died, or this guy's the bad guy's an asshole, that made them feel. It's just it's such a stupid question. It should just be a given that games are art. And for way too fucking long, we haven't considered gaming art, and if we do, as a society, we're like, well, movies are still more legit. And I'm like, why? Why would movies be more fucking legit? In my opinion, movies have fucking surpassed games. Or, I meant to say the vice versa. Fuck. I'm getting all jumbled. Games have surpassed movies in a lot of ways. They can tell deeper, richer storylines because they have 10 times the amount of fucking running time. I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2. I absolutely love Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. That game has the story of like 10 fucking movies in one. It's like somebody took 10 amazing westerns and put them in one. If they tried to take Red Dead Redemption 2 and make it into a movie, they would have to chop out like 90 fucking % of it. Even if they made fucking Red Dead into a show, they would still have to have like 10 seasons to cover the story of that one game. And it's like, that sucks. I see that. I'm sorry. And you know, like, so much of that game is like incidental dialogue. Like, there is thousands of interactions at the fucking camp that you can miss. Like, even replaying the game, like, I was still constantly seeing dialogue I had never fucking seen before. Like, they recorded 5 movies worth of dialogue just for the camp, just the ambient conversations at camp. Right? It's a great game. And it has arguably the greatest fucking post-game of like any game ever. You finally get to the end of Red Dead, and you're like, oh man, I'm at the end, and then it's like, the epilogue is like another game. It's like another game starts. Like, the epilogue for Red Dead Redemption 2 is so lengthy. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like, there's so much. Hey, we're gonna shift the time period ahead by 8 years. And now all of the towns have new buildings. There's new roads. There's new railways. We're gonna open up fucking 2 new big-ass chunks of map. Here, you know, we're gonna let you go back to most of the map of the original game, but it's remade. Right? Arthur Morgan's great. It's hard to decide for me who I like more, Arthur Morgan or John Marston, and that's a testament to how good the characters are in both. John and Arthur are both amazing, and they complement each other. Their arcs run in parallel, so they're actually much better together. I just dig it. And honestly, Dutch is hands down one of the greatest fucking video game villains to ever exist. He is a truly fucking nuanced and deeply complex character. They make you hate Dutch's guts, while at the same time making you deeply fucking feel for him and making him genuinely understandable. Like, you can see where Dutch lost his fucking mind. You can see where Dutch... It might be a weird comparison, but I basically compare it to Metal Gear Solid, okay? To Big Boss is the best comparison that I can make to Dutch. Because Dutch and Big Boss are both men that just really want to make a difference and help people. And their heart is honestly in the right place, but they wind up going astray from so much fucking mental trauma and heartache. And you feel for them because you see exactly all they suffered. Like, Big Boss suffered so badly. Like, he got so fucked up. But it's like, can you blame him? Like, Metal Gear Solid 3, Peace Walker, The Phantom Pain, just over and over again, just shattered. Every time Big Boss tried to put his life together, some crazy shit happened that fucked him up more. Oh yeah, no, for sure. For sure, super depressing. See, I honestly like Big Boss more than I do Solid Snake. I think Big Boss is a much more interesting and more rounded character. And it almost gets to the place where, like, Big Boss is like, let's raise the world in nuclear war, and it's like, you think that there would be no reason why that would ever be, like, why he would ever think that that was a logical course of action, But then you find out about the Patriots and it's like, oh no! They want to enslave humanity and control us all and fucking make us robots and abuse us. They've been controlling society for decades. And he was trying to stop them. And it's like, well, I don't like what Big Boss is trying to do, but I can understand why he wanted to do it. He was literally faced with basically the Terminator taking over society and fucking everybody up. Like, Big Boss was trying to do the right thing. He just started going about it in a really fucked up way. And it's just delicious, the layers of the character. Yeah, exactly. You got to have some small measure of peace. And it's also really great. The fucking spider. It's also really great because Metal Gear Solid 3 really drives home the theme. Like, the theme of Metal Gear Solid 3 is scene. And it's basically a Hideo Kojima pontificating. Do the times that we live in change us? And of course the answer is yes. And, you know, in Metal Gear Solid 1, the big plot twist is that Snake was a clone of Big Boss. Up until that point, you didn't know it. You just thought Big Boss was his mentor. And like, no, he's identical. And so people started asking themselves the question, well, if Solid Snake and Big Boss are fucking clones, well, he's a clone of Big Boss, why are they so different? And Hideo Kojima brilliantly answers, it's like, because of the shit that Big Boss had to live through. It changed him. They show that for like much of Metal Gear Solid 3, he is identical to Solid Snake. Looks like him, talks like him. He's like a Solid Snake in the 60s. But then you see the stuff that's happening to him with the boss shatter him, and you can literally see the point where he starts to alter and go on his own trajectory and becomes Big Boss. Like, you can see the divergence. And the ending to Metal Gear Solid 3 makes me fucking cry like a bitch. It's very rare that a game just hits me so fucking hard, and yeah, that did. Oh man. Huey's such a piece of shit though, like, Huey didn't have the right to fucking lecture anybody. Yeah. But Huey was just such a bastard, though. Honestly, fucking Huey is... You could honestly say that Huey is like the real villain of the Phantom Pain. Okay? Because even Skullface... Once again, Skullface is like, you know... Big Boss. He's like trying to help the world in his own fucked up way. He thinks if he takes language, he'll help the world. And even Skullface, me. He's like, I may dwell in the dark, but he's like, you're a piece of shit. He's like, I do bad things because I think ultimately it'll make the world a better place. He's like, you do bad things because you're a fucking coward. Even Skullface is just like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, Huey tried to put his son into a Metal Gear cockpit. That's fucking despicable. And he's always fucking trying to make people feel sorry for him. It's like, you're the worst, man. And I can understand, okay? I can understand Huey getting really upset with Strangelove because she ultimately never loved him and basically just saw him as a tool to have a son. And I can understand if you're with somebody and you're like, man, they don't ever love me. That sucks. But it's like there are better fucking ways to go about it than sealing them to death in a chamber. It's like, what the fuck, man? Plus, it's just like, you know, he basically did that to get back at her for taking Huey away from him. Right? Oh, fuck. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And you know, see, that kind of feeds into my theory. My theory, for Metal Gear Solid 5, is that there wasn't two big bosses. Ever. I don't think that there was ever a different big boss, an imposter big boss. I think that was Big Boss losing his fucking mind. Okay? Because having a split personality is a classic sign of dissociative disorder, which affects soldiers. Can affect soldiers, for one. For two, the only things that we have to confirm, that there was two of them are conversations at the end between Ocelot and Miller. And people are like, well, you can't fake that. You know, that confirms it. There was fucking conversations with Ocelot and Miller about Paz, remember? So, Big Boss was able to hallucinate them talking about Paz, and they never did. And later on, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, boss? You know the whole scene where they go and interrogate Paz and they look at her? That never fucking happened. So he was able to hallucinate them being there when they weren't. So he couldn't hallucinate a line of dialogue talking about a different Big Boss. And they consistently shown, when he slips into the demon persona, when he gets covered in blood and his horn goes longer, that he sees himself as an asshole. So they show that Big Boss starts to fucking hate himself. Just loathe himself. So what better way to get rid of that than to say, well, it's not really me. It's this other guy that looks just like me. It's like he couldn't cope with what he was doing. And that revelation that there's really two big bosses comes when he is at his lowest point. After they find out that Paz was never alive, after the base gets fucked up and he has to kill all those soldiers, after Quiet leaves him, when they finally show that there's two big bosses, it's after every single bad thing happened to him, and it's when he's at his very lowest point. So you can honestly say that that's when he finally just breaks and loses his fucking mind. That's the tipping point. Right? And then you think that you found one fucking dude that made it. You carry his ass all the way to the fucking end. It's like, oh nope, you gotta kill him too. And you straight up see just how much that fucked Big Boss up. And the realization that it was his own ally. It's not bad enough that they were infected. It's not bad enough that they fucking lost everything. But that little fucking asshole that they trusted did it to them. Plus, you know, I mean, just the the elephant in the room. He legitimately has a big ass fucking piece of debris stuck into his forehead, punching in on his fucking brain. That could make you delusional too. And then in Metal Gear Solid 4, yeah, that sucks. I totally get that. But in Metal Gear Solid 4, they show that Zero had Big Boss's body repaired and reconstructed, and he doesn't talk about the decoy then. Even as he's giving him his whole rant about the whole series, he doesn't give him the decoy talk, and obviously that's because at the time they hadn't came up with the idea for Metal Gear Solid 5. But you could logically say that the counter persona was caused by the piece of shrapnel lodged in his head and his mental trauma, and when Zero had him repaired and the shard removed, that it went away. I mean, obviously, it's just my headcanon, you know, but it's plausible. And I love stuff like that, so... Yeah, exactly. Hideo Kojima just does whatever the fuck he wants to do. No, man, I totally get it. You're not gonna catch me judging you. Life can be fucked up, man. Life can be fucking brutal. If you're not lucky enough to have connections, or be rich, or super good looking, or you're disadvantaged, life will chew you up and fucking spit you out. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. Yeah, fuck you! I hate spiders. I hate spiders so much. Yeah, they celebrate your birthday in the game. Yeah, it's a cool scene. End of chapter 1. Woo! Yeah, well, they have a lot of them in Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's fair. One of the reasons why I love this game is because it's the community filling a need. That's what I love about the internet, man. You have all these people and they see a need and they fucking fill it. Somebody's like, well, Nintendo's not making any more fucking Paper Mario games that are RPGs. Everybody wants one, nobody gets one. We'll fucking make it. And they did, and it's really good. Although, just saying that it's, you know, Paper Mario whatever is a bit derivative. It still manages to do its own thing. Like, it's inspired by Paper Mario, but it's not like a fucking carbon copy ripoff. And that's a fine line. Yeah, exactly. It's always nice to play a good change of pace. Yeah. So many great games are sad as fuck. Yeah, the world has been in a really fucked up state lately, man. Now we're dealing with what? We're unsure if there's fucking aliens or not. I mean, that's so fucking wild, man. Oh, that's a cute snail. I don't know. And I also have to admit, it's actually pretty impressive that they managed to make a game about bugs so cute, because bugs can be really fucking weird and gross. Like, I mean, bugs can be gross. So they managed to take something that's kind of disgusting and make it cute. Even the spider looked adorable. Like, I mean, the spider was trying to be mean. It was like, rah, and the spider looked cute. Also, the soundtrack for this game slaps. I mean, I really dig the soundtrack in this game. To the castle! I mean, even that right there, that's supposed to be like a fucking ant. Looks cool. I'm not very familiar with those. Oh, okay, that's cool. So like a slice of life game. Sent. Yeah. Chapter 2, Sacred Golden Hills. Okay. That's cool. Even the pun for this game, BUGARIA, is funny. Oh, stained glass windows look awesome. Okay, so not only is Leaf hasn't been in a suspension or stasis for ages. Yeah. And fucking this whole time she got magic. Okay. Yeah, exactly. If bugs were actually this cute, you'd like them. Okay. I'll have to look into that then when I get a chance. Yeah, Shenmue. Alright, I'm gonna take a slight break and I'm probably gonna switch games. I'll be back in a little bit. If you wanna watch, that's great. If not, I get it.